The salty breeze whipped against my face as I stood on the deck of the old fishing trawler. The sun was setting, casting a golden hue over the choppy waters of the Pacific Ocean. I adjusted my captain's hat, feeling the weight of responsibility settling on my shoulders. My crew and I had set sail from the port of San Francisco 2 days ago, embarking on a routine fishing expedition. The sea had been kind to us, yielding a bountiful catch of salmon and tuna. But as night fell on the second day, our luck took a sinister turn. It started with whispers, soft and indistinct, carried by the wind. At first I dismissed them as the product of an overactive imagination, but soon the whispers grew louder, more insistent. "Captain," called out one of my crewmates, his voice tinged with unease. "Do you hear that?" I strained my ears, listening intently. The whispers had transformed into distinct voices, murmuring words I couldn't quite make out. It was as if the very air around us was alive with unseen entities. "Get the searchlights," I commanded, my voice betraying a hint of trepidation. "We need to see what's out there." The crew sprang into action, activating the powerful searchlights mounted on the trawler's bow. The beams cut through the darkness, revealing a sight that sent shivers down our spines. There, looming in the misty night, was a ghostly silhouette of a ship. Its hull was tattered and worn, draped in tattered sails that fluttered in the wind. But what chilled me to the bone was the absence of any crew or signs of life aboard the vessel. "It's the ghost ship," whispered one of the seasoned sailors, his voice trembling. "I've heard tales of this cursed vessel, adrift in these waters for centuries." I could feel the tension mounting among the crew as we watched the spectral ship draw closer. Fear and curiosity warred within me, urging me to turn away and flee, yet compelling me to uncover the secrets of this haunting apparition. And so, with a mixture of dread and determination, I gave the order to set a course for the ghost ship. Little did I know that our encounter with this phantom vessel would plunge us into a nightmarish journey of terror and survival. As our trawler closed in on the ghost ship, a palpable sense of foreboding settled over us. The once lively chatter among the crew had faded into an uneasy silence, broken only by the creaking of the ship and the lapping of waves against our hull. I gripped the wheel tightly, my knuckles turning white with tension. The searchlights illuminated the spectral vessel in eerie detail, revealing intricate carvings on its bow and sides, reminiscent of a bygone era. "Steady as she goes," I murmured to the helmsman, trying to mask my own apprehension. The ghost ship loomed larger now, its ghostly form casting an ominous shadow over our trawler. The whispers had grown louder, almost pleading, as if beckoning us closer. "We shouldn't be here," muttered one of the crew, his voice quivering. "This is cursed waters." But curiosity and a sense of duty pushed us forward. We had to know the truth behind the ghost ship, even if it meant risking our lives. As we drew alongside the spectral vessel, a chill swept through the air, causing goosebumps to rise on my skin. The once calm sea began to churn as if stirred by unseen forces. "Prepare to board," I ordered, steeling myself for whatever awaited us on the deck of the ghost ship. Our crew, armed with flashlights and weapons, cautiously made their way across the narrow gap between the ships. The creaking of wood echoed in the night, punctuated by the haunting whispers that seemed to emanate from the very planks beneath our feet. Upon stepping foot on the ghost ship, a sense of disorientation washed over me. The air felt heavy with the weight of centuries, and a fog obscured my vision, blurring the line between reality and nightmare. The crew spread out, exploring the deserted decks and cabins of the spectral vessel. What we found sent shivers down our spines, evidence of a long-abandoned crew, their belongings scattered as if they had vanished into thin air. In the captain's quarters I discovered a logbook, its pages yellowed with age. As I flipped through the entries, a tale of tragedy and betrayal unfolded, a mutiny that led to the demise of the ghost ship's original crew. But it was the final entry that chilled me to the core. Written in a shaky hand, it spoke of a curse that had befallen the ship, condemning its inhabitants to an eternity of torment. Before I could process the implications of the logbook, a scream pierced the air. Rushing to the source, I found one of my crewmates staring in horror at a spectral figure that materialized before us. "It's the captain," he gasped, pointing at the translucent form of a man, his eyes filled with anguish and rage. As the ghost ship seemed to come alive around us, I realized that our intrusion had awakened forces beyond our comprehension. The curse that bound the vessel demanded retribution, and we were unwittingly caught in its grasp. With every passing moment, the whispers grew louder, the shadows darker, and the spectral figures more corporeal. It was a race against time as we fought to escape the clutches of the ghost ship and its vengeful spirits. But as the last survivor, I now carry the weight of that nightmarish encounter, haunted by the memories of the ghost ship and the souls trapped within its cursed domain. As I made my way through the eerie corridors of the ghost ship, the air grew colder, and a sense of foreboding tightened around my chest. The ship seemed to pulse with a life of its own, a life steeped in darkness and forgotten tales. I stumbled upon the captain's quarters, the door creaking open as if inviting me in. Inside, the room was frozen in time, the captain's log still open on the desk, detailing the last moments of the doomed voyage. As I read the entries, a chill ran down my spine. The captain's words spoke of a malevolent presence that had taken hold of the ship, driving the crew mad with fear. Shadows moved in the corners of the room, and whispers echoed through the air, repeating words of despair and anguish. I felt a presence behind me, and when I turned, I saw the ghostly figure of the captain standing there, his eyes hollow and filled with sorrow. He reached out a spectral hand, and I could feel the weight of his despair. With a sudden burst of courage, I asked the captain what had happened to the ship, why it was trapped in this endless cycle of torment. The captain's voice was a whisper on the wind, recounting a tale of betrayal and greed, of a mutiny gone wrong and a curse that had bound the ship to the seas for eternity. As the captain faded into the shadows, I knew I had to find a way to break the curse, to free the souls trapped on this ghostly vessel. Armed with newfound determination, I delved deeper into the ship's mysteries, uncovering forgotten secrets and lost treasures. At the heart of the ship, I discovered an ancient artifact, a key to unlocking the curse that bound the ghost ship to its fate. With trembling hands, I used the artifact to perform a ritual, calling upon the spirits of the past to find peace and move on. As the ritual unfolded, the ship groaned and shuddered, the curse slowly lifting as the souls of the crew were released from their torment. The ghostly figures faded away, their anguished cries turning into whispers of gratitude and relief. With the curse broken, the ghost ship began to fade from existence, its spectral form dissipating into the misty sea. I stood on the deck, watching as the ship vanished, knowing that I had helped bring closure to a tragic chapter in maritime history. As I returned to shore, the sun rising on the horizon, I felt a sense of peace wash over me. The ghost ship was no more, its tale now a legend whispered among sailors, a reminder of the dangers of greed and betrayal on the high seas. And though the memory of that haunting experience would stay with me forever, I knew that I had done something good, something to help those lost souls find their way home.